Hey there, this is Levi from Masculine Intuition Readings, and I'm going to show you guys some new decks that I got, and I'm going to tell you why they're so great. As you can see already, this is the Hollow Valley deck of symbols, and this is the Hollow Valley Sigil Oracle. And these are both by Erin Elise Borzak. She has a lovely website, she has an Etsy store, and you can buy these decks at Phoenix and Lotus, one of my favorite indie deck stores. I'm gonna show you some of the cards and tell you why I think they're so great. So the Hollow Valley deck of symbols comes in a lovely rigid box. It's nice, matte and smooth, and I love that. And it comes with a little pamphlet right here with it's only 4 pages, and it has like some keywords if you like to use those with symbol decks. I personally don't really use them. Sometimes it can be like a nice addition to my readings. And then we have the deck right here. It has lovely backs, very intricate line work. I love that. And I'm going to show you why I love this deck so much in a minute. So when I started my whole tarot and oracle journey, I started with really classic oracle decks with a title and then a line or sometimes even a full paragraph of text, and I was like, yay, I'm reading. And I actually thought symbol decks like these, let me show you some cards. I thought symbol decks like these were really dumb. But lately, since I've been using some of the decks by Skull Garden, I found out that I actually quite like decks like these, and now that I've been reading for a while, and my esoteric knowledge and the knowledge of symbols has grown because I've been reading study books on tarot, on esoteric matters. I find that when I do readings with these, it really opens up my connection to, some call it spirit, some call it whatever, but it really opens up a special connection, and I get really, really, really good readings. And this is one of those decks. So I love the symbolism in here. Look at that. Some of them are really clear. Poison, water, very much that Ace of Cups feeling right there. The window, I love the symbolism. Are we looking out? Are we looking in? What are we doing? Very, very good for readings. The sun. So as you can see, there's quite a lot of tarot references in here too. And funny thing, Erin Elise is actually working on a tarot deck. And I do like to think that once your knowledge grows, you can work with these decks more easily. For example, this one. This one I had to look up because I didn't know what a cairn was. Don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right. But this is actually literally that pile of rocks that you sometimes see when you go for hikes. And these are basically signposts to tell you you're on the right path, and I love that symbolism. So this is a really good study deck too. You get to know a lot about all kinds of symbols that you will see in tons of oracle decks and that you may not have even noticed before, but now you know. The spark, this is very much that Page of Wands energy, Ace of Wands energy, Eclipse, ice. I love it right here, that iceberg that has a lot showing up top, but there's way more below. As above, so below. There's so much you can work with here as a reader. And I do know that it's hard to work with decks like these if you're not on that level yet. I would say this is a deck for intermediate readers up to more professional readers. Antler, love that. The antler is all about growth cycles, nature cycles, the tides, the moon, the owl. There's a lot of nature references in here, which I love because I live very close to nature. I practically live in one of the biggest nature reserves in the country that I live in. So yeah, I love it very much. The well, let's delve deep into that well. A lot of water, a lot of elemental. Just as I said, elemental, the earth card pops up. A lot of elemental symbolism here, and I'm all about the elements. I love working with the elements. So this is one of those decks that just has a symbol and a little title, and I can read with this. Finding oracle decks that work for you really depends on knowledge that you already have or knowledge that you've gained. If you would have asked me 6 months ago, do you want this deck? I would have said, no way. I'm kind of in love with decks like these. Decks like these help me get my intuition going, and decks like these help me be the oracle, whereas decks that have shit ton of text on them, whole paragraphs of text on the cards, like some of the Doreen Virtue decks, for example, have. I own a Doreen Virtue deck, so you know it's not like I'm opposed to them, but because sometimes it can be nice to not actually think and do a lot of work and have the cards tell it to you, have the author tell it to you, tell you how it is. But with this deck, it really requires you to think yourself and delve deep and take some time. And sometimes you're in the mood for that. I usually am. Whenever I'm doing readings, I put my heart and soul into it. And sometimes you're not. And that's completely fine. That's completely fine too. But this is one of those oracle decks where I'm like, yes. I'm going to do another video about oracle decks that I think work well with tarot. This is definitely one of them, and oracle decks that don't work well with tarot. But I'm not going to spoil anything about that because that's for a future video. I love these cards. I love the simplicity. I love the line work. I love that there's not any clear humans in here. I love that it's very nature and animal based. It's very calming. The quality is really good. The cardstock is fine. I don't like overly thick and luxe cardstock. I love that there's a clear connection with the tarot here, so this is definitely one that you can use. For example, this one, the comb, I'd probably have to look that up. But come to think of it, as I see right now, I see this hair that's in a braid, kind of like knotted together, and the comb is maybe there to weave through that and untangle that hair, untangle whatever's going on within those grooves. So yeah, it's not that hard. Like, I find that I can really easily tell stories with these cards. And after all, as oracles, as tarot readers, that is what we do. We tell stories. We are storytellers, and these cards are just made for that. So yeah, this is a really lovely deck. Now let's move over to the other deck. I'll be back in a second. Now this other deck, the Hollow Valley Sigil Oracle, is a whole different beast. This is a sigil magic deck, and I never really knew what sigil magic was, to be honest. And when I saw this deck on Phoenix and Lotus's website, I was like, wow, this is amazing. I have to have this. This is once again a very simple, simplistic oracle deck. Also comes in a nice rigid box, nice and smooth. There's nothing special on the back. And I kind of like that. I like simplicity. Sometimes more is more, sometimes less is more. There's no guidebook at all with this deck, and you don't need one because this is basically an affirmation deck. Let me show you some of those cards real quick. I don't know if I have them in the right order or whatever. They are a little bit slippery, as you can see, but bear with me. This is very much an affirmation type deck. There's a sigil that she made. She makes sigils. She also makes custom sigils for you, and she bases the sigils on texts. So she uses the letters and the shapes in there and makes a special sigil for you. And all these cards have a sigil that you can use if one of those statements on the cards resonates with you and you want to work with that and you want to manifest that magic into your life. Just retrace the sigil on a piece of paper and burn it and send it up into the universe. And I really love that idea. Burn it down and start over. Dark, murky, inner work, one of my favorites. I love decks that have light and dark in them. Even in affirmation decks, I like being slapped in the face every now and then. Ritual and routine. Protection from toxicity. And I love how she makes sigils. It's so unique. Prove them the fuck wrong. There's some F-bombs in this deck. Tiny shifts every day. Gorgeous. I also love the colors she chose for the cards. Like very much that earthy tone. Like, it's just amazing. I'm on the right path. Gorgeous. Now, this is imagery that really resonates with me. I'm comfortable in my own skin. the willingness to try. As I'm telling you guys that this is imagery that really resonates with me, I know that that sounds kind of dumb. I am a guy of two extremes. It's either very, very busy and there's a lot there, a lot to work with, a lot of smoke and mirrors, or it's very simplistic like this, a fresh start with every sunrise. Love the sunrise right here. Love how she incorporates that into her sigils. So this has really got me thinking, like, hell yeah, I want to do sigil magic. This is amazing. I'm probably gonna get into it. I saw some really neat books on Amazon, probably gonna order them because I want to work with this. Because I'm very much about words, transforming words into sigils and then burning them or whatever to set my intentions is really something that fits me. I am made of stars. Trust the process. Manifest. I give and receive plentifully. Disciplined devotion to self plus creation. I'm on the cusp of a magical awakening. I love this. Now, what I'm gonna do for you guys is I'm going to get these out of the way real quick, and then I'm going to do a reading to show you how I can work with these two decks and how I can work with them together. So I'll see you guys in a second. I take 3 of the sigil cards. All right, what I'm gonna do is flip over the symbol cards first. I'm gonna read them real quick. So this is for me, past, present, future. And I always, whenever I shuffle my cards, I set the intention about how far in the past I want it to be. Now, this is all very recent past, literally right now, recent future. So the first card we got is the well, and this is very much about going deep, deep, deep into that well. Really I'm really soul searching. I was actually also really soul searching. Going through it emotionally, it was not the best time ever. And this was like last weekend. I'm not gonna go into details, of course, because reasons. And then right here we have the dog, and that's for the present, and that's very much about, to me, dogs and dog symbolism is very much about friendship, kinship, being close, love, and that's very much what I'm experiencing right now. And then for the future, we have that spark, that creative spark, that page of wands, ace of wands energy that I love, and that is going to come more and more into my life. And lately I've been getting, in the tarot readings as well, I've been getting a lot of wands, and that's because I'm working on another creative project. So had quite a rough batch, had to delve deep, but now I'm surrounded by love and friendship. And in the near future, I'm going to get that creative burst. And I think that might even be this afternoon because I have some creative projects lined up later today. Now let's see the sigils that go here. And these always resonate for me. So being soft with myself, I knew that I had to be softer with myself. And I was a little bit more soft, not just with myself, but also to others, because I can be quite hard sometimes. As of right now, I am made of stars, and I am very much feeling very good and energized. And then for the near future, trust the process. And this is a very, very, very good card because I can work hastily. I want to finish up projects quick. I want to cram them out, and that can't always happen. I have to let nature run its course. So yeah, that's kind of how I work with decks like these. I hope you guys like this video, and if you want to see more of me, follow me on Instagram. I have a link tree that I will link down below that you can use to follow me on all the platforms that I'm on, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.